Okay, so my favorite moment in choir, it's really hard to say just because I really can't just pick one. I'd have to say that any time that we get up there and we're just unified by the music and we're up there performing from our hearts, it's just really magical and so, like, there aren't even words to describe how that makes me feel. So anytime we get up and perform together would be my favorite moment.
My favorite memory is at State. We were up on the stage and we had just started Damon, and I looked, and out in one of the front rows there was a little boy and he was sitting there, and as soon as we hit the first note you can just see him and it was just the cutest thing in the world to see him jump up, and just to think that we're able to evoke such a response in someone by something that we sing. It just shows how much emotion that we put into it, and I really saw that we cared this year.
So my favorite memory from choir is the first choir retreat that I went on, and after the candle ceremony we were all talking and laughing and crying, and I met up with Lane, and he and I just started talking about our lives and everything and where we were headed, and we ended up putting the couches in a V up against the fire pit in the big room in the lodge, and we sat there almost all night long and just told each other all about the struggles and everything that we've had in our lives and how we've overcome them. And I just realized that everyone in this choir has probably gone through something terrible or something in their lives that has affected them, and we all together can open up to each other and just become such a really good family and just create such deep bonds with each other, and in the end that just makes us such a stronger choir, and it really makes it more of a family if you really just feel comfortable and just open up to each other and hold each other's hands while we go through high school and just be there for each other, and in the end you're just a big family.
So my favorite moments were in New York when we sang Damon in the church and competed, and the end of it was, the way it echoed was just so beautiful.
So my favorite memory from choir is probably all of the retreats from my junior and senior year, and especially council retreat, and getting to know everyone was super awesome, and I'm so happy that I got to be on council this year. And also, New York was really awesome, and it was an experience that I'm probably never going to forget ever.
My favorite memory is with Miss Fuson when she was teaching us the language for Zigorner, and she taught us Laotian and Shunin, and yeah.
One thing that I have to do that other people don't have to do is I have to pass down the kissing game tradition, and this last year, I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a couple people who went super crazy. So the kissing game tradition thing is going down to Claire Corbett because she was a beast.
My favorite memory ever in choir would probably have to be going to Dornbecker with Overtones my first time, and the reason why it's my favorite because it brought me a new perspective on everything, on life and on happiness and the little things. Going to see those children that suffered through much and have been through so much worse than I have, it just really made me feel humble, and it made me feel that life is just so precious, and it really is the little tiny moments that matter. The moments like singing, or even the bigger moments like singing for a choir. It's what really matters, and it really brings me solace.
Hey everyone, it's unbelievable that I'm sitting in this chair right now, and I know people before me have said wonderful things, so I'm going to just lay it all out right now.
My favorite memory and moment in choir was singing Luke's Harumque at Grand Central Station in New York. It just sounded so beautiful, and it was spontaneous and spur of the moment, and we weren't exactly supposed to be there, but it was just so beautiful to just revel in that moment.
My favorite moment in choir is probably when I finally overcame my anxiety and I tried out for a solo, and I'm repping that shirt for my solo now, so, I'm the mermaid.
My favorite memory of choir was at the retreat. when Billy was first showing me and the other basses the door kicking prank, and then he tried to double kick the tenor's door and fell on his face.
So my favorite memory would have to be pretty much every trip we've ever been on, and it's been really it's been really great, and I really think that getting to know people and becoming closer to people each year progressively, even if I don't talk to them directly, the experience is there, and it's a memory that we'll all share, and that's really cool.
So my favorite memory in choir is probably singing at Grand Central Station, because the acoustics were out of this world. They were like the best acoustics I've ever heard. And it's cool because you wouldn't expect it in a place like that necessarily. But another part of that day was that we got to be recorded for this video project, like Be Somebody, which is to help inspire other people, which has always been a personal goal of mine. And so just to get the opportunity to even possibly be part of this video that gets shown to all the different like schools and stuff and gets posted online to try and inspire others was really a gratifying feeling. And it was really fun memory to sing there.
My favorite memory would easily be San Diego with Overtones last year. A lot of good times and growing closer to all the people in Overtones.
Alright, I don't have a favorite memory out of choir. Choir's been my life since freshman year, and it's given me my choir family. It's led me to my passion for singing and for music, and it's helped me decide what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to major in music, and that's what I'm going to do with my life.
Okay, so my favorite memory this year was every time me and Bryce were talking, just me, Miss K. It was me every time. You blame Bryce every time, though, but it was just me, I promise you.
Okay, for my favorite memories, I have two. They were both in New York. The first one was singing in Grand Central Station, and then the other one was when Ezekiel got us a 94.
My favorite memory would have to be just necessarily the whole New York trip, because that's the first thing I really get to go to with the whole choir, and it really gave me that aspect of the family feeling that we have in this choir.
So my advice to you guys next year and any years that you guys are in choir in the future, and I guess in life, is to just, with everything that comes your way, be positive and just be relaxed about it, because the product that you're going to get from your efforts when you're positive about the conclusion, no matter what happens, you're going to feel a lot better about it in that situation rather than being negative.
I want to say mostly to the sophomores that are going to be juniors next year, keep doing what you're doing, but don't get cocky. You guys are good, and I'll admit that you guys are really good, but you need to make sure that you're always open to improvement and to helping others, because the moment you get cocky, you're not going to be improving yourself. You're going to be thinking that you're as good as you're going to get, and you're not going to be willing to help the people around you, and that's not going to improve our choir at all.
My advice to everyone, back sophomore year to junior year, there was a chance I wasn't going to be in choir, and I started to regret some of the decisions I made. And not giving 100% every day and contributing to my fullest, it really made me realize how much I care about the choir and how much I've loved doing this. So no matter how many times it's told to you or how much you hate it, really don't take it for granted, because once you do and you realize it, it stays with you for a while.
Advice I would give would probably be to the underclassmen, don't rely on the seniors to sing over you, because I know I kind of did that when I was a sophomore, and once the seniors leave, then the section becomes really quiet and you won't be as confident as you are. So don't rely on others, do it yourself.
My advice to future choir students is to find your passion for choir and keep it, because not every day is easy in high school, but the family here is in this choir is just so amazing, and having a place to go and express yourself and have fun and be accepted is amazing. So just be passionate and remember not to take it for granted.
My advice that I would give to you guys is respect Miss K. And I mean it. She does a lot of work for you guys. She does so much. And she is the mom of the choir department, whether you realize it or not. Respect her. I love you, Miss K.
My advice for all the juniors, sophomores, and even freshmen is, as oversaid as it is, don't take it for granted. And that saying gets so annoying, but at the same time it really does mean something. And especially for the people that are going to be in like choir council or overtones, really step it up, because it's a position that somebody else may have really wanted, and if you take that spot and you don't do well in that position, it's really hard for the people who really wanted it. And also for especially the sophomores, because there's so many in concert choir right now. In 2 years, you guys will do really well at state, and don't give up on choir, because, and I know some people want to do full IB and all that stuff, but really choir is so much better. So don't give up on choir. It's a lot better.
Then my advice is to love everybody around you and cherish them, because even though they might get on your nerves sometimes, they're not going to be in your life forever. And don't take them for granted.
My advice to the underclassmen or anyone joining concert choir is honestly just make memories. And however you go about that will be in your own way and will be so special. And honestly, I'm coming away from choir with so many fabulous memories, and some stressful and some argumentative memories, but overall I've made so many that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So don't take your memories for granted and make as many as you can, because you'll want to remember them.
My advice for everybody that's not graduating is really don't take it for granted. Miss K, she needs to be respected. She has so much knowledge about what you guys are doing, and you shouldn't just take that for granted. You shouldn't just talk to people during class. You shouldn't just like not pay attention, because she really knows what she's doing, and she really needs to be respected. And you guys, if you really pay attention to Miss K, you can learn a lot from Miss K, and you can really grow to be a really, really good musician, and you shouldn't take that for granted at all.
Advice: choir gets grueling sometimes, but it's still a great class, and if you don't have a lot of friends, it's a place where you can come and everyone accepts you, because it's just about singing and having a good time. So it's a lot of family environment type of thing.
The advice that I have is to not wait like me till my last year. If you're an underclassman, make as many memories as possible.